Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Fresh Fit Fall from Maryland SNAP Ed. This is our weekly program about all the wonderful things that are offered to us in the fall, especially fresh fall produce. It's a wonderful time to be eating, as well as as well as a wonderful time to be outdoors, be active, but also to think about being active indoors as the days get shorter. We have these longer, darker evenings. So if you are joining us for the first time, welcome. If you have joined us before, you know that I always encourage you to introduce yourself in the comments with your county if you're from in Maryland, or your city and state if you're from outside of Maryland. We also encourage questions and comments throughout, and we'll respond to them as we see them. So with that, let's go ahead and get started. Today we're welcoming Sheree Harris. Sheree is a nutrition educator in our Baltimore SNAP Ed project. So welcome, Sheree. Welcome to Fresh Fit Fall. And let's go ahead and get started by talking about what's fresh this fall. There we go.
Here we go.
Welcome.
Okay, I'm trying to start my other camera as well.
Okay, no problem. And while you're doing that, hello, Stephanie. Hello, Chris. Welcome. Nice to have you with us. And there we go. Beautiful. Okay, so what's fresh this fall, Sheree?
Today we will be talking about pumpkins. And as you can see, I have two pumpkins in front of me right here. So we're going to start off by talking about carving pumpkins versus pie pumpkins. So right here, we have two different pumpkins. So this right here would be considered a carving pumpkin. This is a pumpkin you can use to carve into a jack-o'-lantern. And then right here we have a pie pumpkin. This is a pumpkin you can use to, I'm sorry, I'm getting some type of notification. This is a pumpkin you can use to make a pie. So when you're looking for pumpkins, carving versus pie, when you're looking for pumpkins, you don't want to use a carving pumpkin for pie because it's not great for eating, but you want to look for pie pumpkins. Those are the pies that are great to use when you're eating. You want to look for pumpkins called small sugar pumpkins or New England pie pumpkins. Those are examples of pumpkins that you can use for eating, for adding to a pie, making pumpkin pancakes, pumpkin bread. So another thing to look forward to, you want to make sure you're looking for ones without mold or soft spots. But if you find a pumpkin that may have a few blemishes, it's okay to use those pumpkins because you're not eating the skin, you're eating the flesh and the inside. Pumpkins are very good for us. They give us a great source of vitamin A and fiber. Let me just show you an example. So this is the carving pumpkin. We're not going to carve this, but this is a pumpkin that we can use for a pie. So I've already cut it open. So I'm going to open the top to show you what the inside looks like. Looks like it's stuck. Let me get my knife and cut it up a little bit more.
Sure. And while you're doing that, we had a question from one of our viewers saying, well, the jack-o'-lanterns, while we don't typically use those for the flesh, but if you want to use it for seeds, can we use the jack-o'-lantern pumpkin seeds for eating? And my feedback is yes. So I think either type of seed. I've even toasted seeds from like other types that, pumpkin are in the squash family. So I've even done, toasted like butternut squash seed or acorn squash seeds, if you like that. So thanks for that question. All right. Did it refuse itself together?
Yeah,
it's like, I can see that it's good.
All right, so here's an example of an eating pumpkin. If you look inside, you'll see the flesh, you'll see the seeds. So what you want to do is you want to pull out the seeds, and that can even be a great activity you do with young children. You can have them pull out the seeds and the flesh and count the seeds to see how many seeds this pie have. This pumpkin has. You can take the seeds and you can roast them. So if you're using a pumpkin to bake with, to cook with, you want to make sure you cook the flesh before you use it in the recipe. And you can cook it by steaming it or roasting it until it's soft and ready to use in your recipe.
Right, and we will post some links to information about how to cook your pumpkin so that it's ready for use in a recipe, because I don't think there's any recipes I've seen that want to use raw pumpkin. So, but maybe there is. So you can educate me if someone on the viewer has eaten raw pumpkin before. So yeah, you want to get it nice and soft. But we want to talk about sort of something that if you've never, cooked a pumpkin to eat, there is an easier option out there.
Yeah, so there's always an easier option. You can always go for canned pumpkin. It's cheaper. You can find it mostly all year round. I usually can find it all year round. It's widely available, and it's so much easier to use. But if you want to have a fun activity and go to your local farm and find a edible pumpkin and have that activity, you can do that as well.
One thing to look for when you are buying canned pumpkin, which is just such a great option because it's affordable, it's ready to go, is make sure if you're making a pumpkin pie, you can get what's labeled as pumpkin pie filling, but that's already got the spices and flavors in it for pumpkin pie. So if you are just using it for some other recipe like we're going to make today, make sure it's the one that says 100% pure pumpkin. So that it's not, so that you're adding the flavors that you want to it rather than, having it already loaded in. So talking of recipes, what are we going to make today?
We are going to make a pumpkin oatmeal energy bite. And I'm just going to bring my ingredients over. So to make this pumpkin oatmeal energy bite, you're going to use 3 cups of oats. You're going to use a half a cup of canned pumpkin. You're also going to use a half a cup of nut butter, and you can use peanut butter, but if you have, the family have allergies, you can use almond butter, any nut butter of your choice. Today I'm going to use almond butter. We're also going to use 1/4 cup of honey. We are going to add a half a cup of raisins. And also, I already measured out 2 teaspoons of pumpkin spice, but you can also use cinnamon. I measured out 1/4 cup of honey and a little bit of salt, just a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And if you want to add some extra texture, you can add some shredded coconuts, unsweetened shredded coconuts.
And something that I really like about this recipe, which we did just post the recipe link in the chat, is that with the exception of the coconut, I have all of those things in my pantry right now. And I think that those are pretty common pantry ingredients. Maybe you need to get the canned pumpkin, but I just love pantry recipes that you don't have to make a special trip to the store for.
Okay, so the recipe is very easy. I'm just going to move my pumpkin out the way. The
recipe
is very
Lauren
easy.
says it sounds amazing. Thank you, Lauren. I agree.
Thank you, Lauren. So the recipe is very easy. I'm going to take my canned pumpkin and add it to my bowl.
And I will mention this is a recipe that is included in one of our curricula that we use in SnapEd. It's in our Refresh curricula. And I believe it's in a lesson that we sort of talk about the different ways foods are sort of transformed between the farm and our plate. So we talked about pumpkins. You can buy them fresh, but you can also, they can be processed and canned to store on your shelf for a long time and then be used. So there's a lot of learning that happens with food.
So I added my canned pumpkin, my almond butter, my honey. I'm going to add some of the pumpkin spice. Add a little vanilla extract. I don't know if I mentioned, but you can add a little vanilla, a teaspoon of vanilla for extra flavor. And a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And you're just going to mix these ingredients together until it is nice and smooth.
These are the best recipes to do with kids. The dump and stir recipes are the best because I think stirring is probably among a kid's favorite jobs when you're making a recipe.
And it doesn't require any oven or cooking. Just dump and stir.
Kara thinks this would be a great on-the-go breakfast. Made these before.
And I'm gonna add my 3 cups of oats and my raisins. And then continue to stir all that together. Oops. It'll be a little messy, but mess is fun sometimes.
I like that you're doing that on top of that tray because that's a great way to kind of limit mess and just to make it, if you're letting your kids stir, then you don't worry so much about them letting, if stuff overflows, it just gets caught on the tray. That's great. Great idea.
Kind of
This is
pour those ingredients and add it if you need to add it back to the bowl.
yeah, exactly. We also like to talk about physical activity, so you're doing a little bit of cement mixing there.
Yep.
Getting your arm warm.
So after you stir all the ingredients together, you can scoop up about a tablespoon of the mixture. And this part could be really fun for kids. It gets really mushy and gushy, so it's a lot of fun. You take it and you just roll it into a little ball. And there you have your pumpkin oatmeal energy bite.
Now I have to say that I haven't made this recipe myself before, but I expected that process to be a lot messier than it was. So yeah, I mean, you're gonna need to wash your hands, but clean hands are a great tool to use. But wow, that really came together pretty neatly. And then if you refrigerate them, they kind of firm up a little bit.
Yep. And then if you like, you can dip it in some coconut to give it extra texture. Stick to the outside. Or once it's refrigerated, you can sprinkle the coconut on the outside.
Oh, beautiful. All right. That came together beautifully and quickly, which is a great feature of a recipe. So we're going to give you some time to make a few more of those. And while you do that, we are going to share our Fresh Fit tip for the week. All right. So our tip for this week is if you have a baby or toddler I've hidden myself. Okay, if you have a baby or toddler, to make time in your day for a stroller walk. So it's soothing for the little ones, it helps to clear your head, and it provides physical activity. So this tip is in honor of the fact that we are coming to the end of Walktober, which is Maryland's statewide month-long celebration of walking. And to help us sort of put a bow on that, we have invited some guests here today to talk about a program that they are doing at the Judy Center in Calvert County, Maryland. So I'd like to welcome Sarah Coffey. So Sarah is I have it written down here, the on-site coordinator at the Judy Hoyer Learning Hub at Calvert Elementary School. So welcome to Fresh Fit Fall, Sarah. And let's go ahead and get started. Can you tell me a little bit about the Judy Hoyer Learning Hub?
Yeah, good morning from Calvert County. Yep, so I am the on-site coordinator for the Judy Hoyer Early Learning Hub at Calvert Elementary. We are located in Prince Frederick, Maryland. So we work with children 0 to 5 to help prepare for kindergarten readiness. And we do that through community resources, and we provide literacy activities, math activities, and we connect families with community resources to kind of make their journey a little bit easier. So we work with Title I schools in the state of Maryland to do that.
That's great. So can you provide some examples of community resources that can really help families and support kindergarten, kids in their path toward kindergarten to be ready for the school experience?
Yeah, absolutely. So we work with some of our examples are Calvert Library. So we have a bookmobile, and we work with the bookmobile, and we go into a couple areas in Prince Frederick, areas where transportation can be an issue for the families. And so we want to be there to provide some literacy activities for kids and provide them books, because kids love books. I love books, and we are there to kind of help start a child's first library. We also work with community health to provide resources. We work with Head Start. We work with Hippie. And we just we're kind of a one-stop shop for families. If they have a question and they kind of don't know where to turn to, then they can come to us and we can definitely help point them in the right direction for what will be a benefit to their family.
And yesterday you were telling me a little bit about some activities that you did that linked books to some healthy food tasting opportunities.
Yeah, so we do bi-weekly literacy kits. Right now they go out to 62 kids in Prince Frederick. And we always try to do a snack and we try to make it healthy. So 2 weeks ago, we did the book When the Leaf Blew In. And we did activities with kids going out and getting leaves and making like people out of them. But we also do a healthy snack. And so that healthy snack was we did fall fruit baskets. And so we did some ice cream cones and then we filled those with different fruits for the kids. So we did raspberries and blueberries because we want kids to try different fruits that they may not always like or they think looks weird or and we've done like dolphin fruits with a banana and you draw the little dolphin faces on those. But yeah, we tried to do that. And then we partner with Maryland Snap Ed for monthly cooking sessions for our families. And for our families, we provide all of the ingredients for that meal for them. So it kind of promotes a family cooking together and eating together. So we always try to tie that into a book. So yeah, we love a good theme here. And so yeah, we always try to bring those together.
That's great. Well, and you had mentioned you kind of use the 2-bite club as a general idea for getting kids to try new foods, try 2 bites. It's up to you if you try more, which is a great practice if you're a parent with a young kid, that as much as we really, really, really want them to eat that broccoli, that pressure can sometimes backfire. But if you can make it into sort of a fun game and let them know that after the taste, it's up to them to make their decision. That's a great practice to enforce. We are going to put a link to, we have a read aloud of the book called The 2-Bite Club, and that might be useful to some parents in trying to encourage kids to try new foods. So can you, in your own words, because a lot of the stuff you talked about with like physical activity, in addition to the literacy, which is like sort of, we expect that to be sort of part of a kid's education, but like the link between the healthy foods and the physical activity, like what's the link between health and wellness and then your mission of kindergarten readiness?
Right. So kindergarten readiness is just not like ELA and literacy. It's also being able, they have different things and we want a kid to stay active and that kind of, we want their brain to be ready. And so we do that. We bring, like, for instance, we just had jump bunch here for our kindergartners. And so with that, they come out and they do exercises and then they do stuff like fine motor skills. And so we do that. And then we do that through also our stroller club, which we're just getting started here at Calvert. We are a new Judy Center. We've been open for about 7 months. And so, yeah, we're bringing a stroller club. We want to have a safe space for parents of young children or expecting mothers to come and be able to walk with us and talk with us. That's kind of our thing. We want them to be able to come and have a conversation with us. And if they have a question or a need, they can do that and we can kind of talk and walk. And we provide pedometers for those parents that come. And then when they reach so many steps, then they get a water bottle and we just talk, we kind of tie that all in to kind of self-care and healthiness and just being able to know that they can come here and we are here for them.
That's so great. I love that there's just so many layers to that like, the kid, even at the youngest age, is seeing their parent be active. It's becoming a part of their family lifestyle. But there's walking, you can layer so many things onto that. The connection, forming relationships between families and, sort of service providers. And just having I think one thing we've all learned over the past year and a half is the importance of just having human connection in a safe outdoor environment. So I love so much about that. Are there any other cool programs going on at the Judy Center you'd like to tell us about?
Yeah, so we're, like I said, we're a new Judy Center. So we're kind of just building our base. But yeah, our activity kits are a big draw. So that's bi-weekly. It's a book, a craft, a snack. So we focus on sensory and we deliver that to the house to the kids so they don't have to worry it and they have it there. We also are starting monthly theme packs for our parents and our children under about 15 months. And those focus on a lot of things. We do health, we do fire safety, home safety, self-care. We have a pack if your baby is crying or dealing with colic. We do infant massage. So we really try those to tie all of those in. So if you have a question about your baby's development, we are providing those materials. Everything we could provide is completely free to our families. And we just want to kind of to help them. Parenthood is like a tricky road to navigate. I have 3 boys myself, and we just want to make it easier on them. It's a stressful time in a pandemic, and so that's something new that we're just gonna try to come into our community and provide those resources to that family. And it will always have our community resources to go with that theme. And so they're going to have that all at their fingertips for any questions that they have about raising a baby, because it is a hard job.
It is. And that's one of the things I like so much about the stroller club idea is having, 2 young kids myself. It's very fresh in my mind that, that time to care for yourself and kind of give your brain and body some time to kind of reintegrate while you walk and spend some time outdoors with other people. It just seems like such a win-win-win. So if you're watching this and you are a staff at any type of early childhood center, think about these ideas. Feel free to email eatsmartmd@umd.edu and we can connect you with or help you brainstorm some ideas. If you're a parent of a young child watching this and maybe your kid's involved in Head Start or Judy Center, please reach out if you'd like some ideas of how you can share these ideas of how you can get more physical activity and nutrition education supports at your center. So Sarah, thank you so much for sharing the work that you guys are doing. It's inspirational. I love that we have the opportunity to partner with you in Calvert County. Sorry, wait, did I get that right?
Yeah, Calvert County.
Sorry, I get all the C counties. There's a lot of C counties and I switch them all up. So I appreciate your time this morning and best of luck growing your programs. And I'm sure the families are truly going to benefit from it.
Yeah, thank you so much.
All right, so we are going to check back in with Sheree and have one last look at some prepared of those delicious pumpkin oatmeal energy bites. Wonderful, so lovely. Do you mind holding those up a bit? There we go. Oh my gosh, those look so good. So, some folks already said that would make a great breakfast. You could make a big batch of them and freeze them and pull out, a bunch of them for the week. Also a great snack. You've got whole grains, you've got all the nutrition from pumpkin, some protein and healthy fats from the nut butters. So I think this is great. So thank you so much, Sheree. Those look beautiful. And for the handy demonstration, very timely. So as you're celebrating Halloween, make sure when you're thinking about pumpkins, you're not just thinking about carving them and thinking about incorporating this really healthy, wonderful food into your meals. So thanks so much, everyone, for watching. Thanks to Sarah and everyone at the Calvert County Judy Center. And thanks to Sheree for your demonstration. And let's take a look at what is coming up next on Fresh Fit Fall. All right, so we are here every Thursday at 11 a.m. Next week, we are going to be featuring cabbage, one of my favorite weather vegetables. Yes, there is somebody who really loves cabbage out there, and I'm one of them, and hopefully more of you will be converted. On the 11th, we're going to talk about kale. And then on the 18th, right before the Thanksgiving holiday, we're going to be sharing some great recipes using winter squash that would really be wonderful incorporated into your Thanksgiving menu. So we hope you join us. If you're watching this live, you know where to find us on Facebook. Make sure you like our page and turn on notifications. That will give you an alert when we go live. you ever have any questions in advance of or following up to any of our sessions, you can reach us at eatsmartmd@umd.edu. Here's some other places you can find us on the internet. Our recipes that we feature are all on our Eat Smart website, which is extension.umd.edu/eatsmart. There's our Facebook page, also our YouTube channel where we archive all of our recorded episodes of Fresh Fit Fall, but lots of other great content there, including short recipe videos, nutrition education lessons. So please take some time to explore that. And then we are now on Insta. So that's our handle as well. So thank you so much to everyone who joined us. We hope we see you back here next Thursday at 11 a.m. And until then, enjoy a Fresh Fit Fall.